Russia, the early 20th century. A vast empire stood on the edge of collapse, and at the center of it all was a man many believed possessed supernatural powers. A wandering peasant, a self-proclaimed holy man, a mystic feared by nobles, and trusted by the royal family. His name was Grigori Rasputin. Even today, more than a century later, his story feels less like history and more like a nightmare. Rasputin was born in Siberia in 1869. He came from a poor farming family. He had little education, no noble blood, no military rank. Nothing suggested he would one day influence an empire. Yet people noticed something unusual about him. His intense stare, his strange charisma, his ability to convince others that he possessed divine gifts. As he traveled across Russia, stories began to spread. Some called him a healer, others called him a fraud, but everyone remembered him. Everything changed when Rasputin entered the world of the Russian royal family. The Tsar and Tsarina carried a burden few people knew about. Their son, Alexei, suffered from hemophilia, a disease that could turn even a minor injury into a life-threatening crisis. Doctors could do very little. The royal family became desperate. Then Rasputin arrived. According to witnesses, Alexei often seemed to improve after Rasputin visited, whether through faith, coincidence, or something else entirely. The royal family became convinced that Rasputin could help, especially the Tsarina, and with that belief, his influence began to grow. As Rasputin's influence expanded, so did the hatred toward him. Newspapers attacked him relentlessly. Members of the aristocracy viewed him as a dangerous outsider. Religious leaders questioned his morality. Rumors spread through every corner of Russia. Stories of corruption, scandal, manipulation, secret meetings. Some believed he was protecting the empire. Others believed he was helping destroy it. The truth became increasingly difficult to separate from fiction. But one thing was clear. Many powerful people wanted Rasputin gone. In December of 1916, a group of aristocrats invited Rasputin to a palace. It appeared to be a friendly gathering. In reality, it was a trap. According to the story that became famous, his killers first attempted to poison him. When that failed, they shot him. Yet the legend claims he continued to fight for his life. Another shot followed, then another. Eventually, his body was taken into the freezing Russian night and thrown into the Neva River. Over time, the story grew larger than life. A man who could not be poisoned, a man who would not die, a man who became a myth. Modern historians believe many parts of the assassination story were exaggerated. Some details likely became distorted through retellings and political propaganda, but the mystery never disappeared. And perhaps that is why Rasputin remains so fascinating, because his story exists somewhere between fact and legend, between history and myth. To some, he was a holy man. To others, a manipulator, a fraud, or even a threat to the Russian Empire itself. Only months after Rasputin's death, the Russian Empire collapsed. The Romanov dynasty fell, and the world entered a new era. Yet the image of Rasputin survived. The piercing eyes, the dark robes, the endless rumors, and the unsettling feeling that history still hasn't completely explained who he really was.